Welcome back to Glendale Community College for the 2011 Valley of the Sun Bowl, and the host team, the Gauchos of Glendale, lead at 22-6. That first half.
All right, I'm about to get coached.
Spencer Stone, 14 of 26 for 219 yards and a couple of touchdowns. He also threw a couple of interceptions, and I think one of the keys, Coach, was the fact that this Glendale defense has really kept Jamal Small in check.
All right,
yeah, he hasn't done a whole lot through the air, and they've been able to run the ball fairly well, has Dean College, but only the one drive that ended up in a score. So all in all, the defense by Glendale has done a real solid job.
Let's send it down to the Glendale sideline, Mike Aritunuto.
All right, down here with Coach Bell. Coach, 22-6 at halftime. You said pretty good first half. Obviously, a few penalties, but overall, I mean, defensively, what adjustments are you guys going to make in the second half?
We just got to make sure we're adjusting their formations. We're getting outflanked a couple times based on their formation, not getting our linebackers adjusted properly. We lost contain on the quarterback a couple times, a couple personal fouls. And that, that couple things like a personal foul, give up one big play, a turnover, and it leads to a touchdown.
And then offensively, I know Spencer had the interception, but overall, offense seems to be clicking pretty well. Looks like you're taking advantage of the defense. What changes are we going to see on offense?
We just got to protect the football. Other than that, none.
All right, well, good luck in the second half, Coach. Jeff, Coach, back to you.
All right, thanks, Coach Bell. All right, we're getting set for the opening kickoff to the third quarter.
I love it when it's bad.
And it'll be Bobby Hodge doing the honors, a 5'9", 175-pounder out of Ironwood High School, just a couple of miles up the road. And back to receive is Whitehead and Davis, 22 and 33, respectively. And the second half of the 2011 Valley of the Sun Bowl is underway, and the ball's going to go out of bounds. So a penalty against the kicking team, and it looks like Dean College will probably be taken over around the 35.
Free kick out of bounds. Dean College elects to take the ball first down at the 40-yard line.
Check that, the 40-yard line. Todd Vasey, the head coach of this Dean College team, is assisted by Matt Chapman, Mike Cahill, Jake Myers, Eric Lee, Paul McInnes, and Herb Huffords. And we got to give some credit to those guys, and Mickey Bell. Of course, J.D. Sollers, the offensive coordinator, Coach Christensen, Donisthorpe, Gronwald, Epley, Espinoza, Mitchell, and Jewell. First down and 10 from the 40-yard line. And they come out throwing the ball, and it's incomplete, but there was pressure on the quarterback, and it was led by Dylan Flannery for Glendale.
Yeah, Flannery came on the blitz, had a little zone blitz on that time. Flannery timed it up really well, right in the face of Small to force a poor throw.
Well, Small in that first half threw for just 4 completions and 11 attempts for 40 yards. He rushed 9 times for 43 yards. I think we're going to see a lot of running in this second half from this Dean College quarterback. Second down and 10 from the 40-yard line. Third quarter action, a minute in. And a fake inside handoff, and the ball nearly intercepted there by Glendale's cornerback DeAndre Moore-Young.
Boy, DeAndre read that really well. They ran a little option or dive fake to the inside and then a quick pass to the flanker, and DeAndre saw it coming and nearly picked that thing off.
It will bring up a third down and 10. 14:52 on the clock, third quarter action. Dean featuring Alex DeMarco, the tight end. He's on the right side. And they send Jackson, their leading receiver this year, in motion. And the trouble is a lot of trouble. And Dylan Flannery gets back and gets him a quarterback. He had some help, but a tremendous job up front by this Glendale defense.
Well, Dean College has not been able to adjust yet to Glendale's all-out blitzes on 3rd and long, and that time they just did not pick up the blitzer, and great pressure and a big sack for the Glendale defense.
So 3 and out, 3 punts for Moriarty, averaging 43 in the contest. Wobbly kick. It's going to be fair caught by Wilson, who drops the ball, and there's another turnover. Dean has recovered the ball at the Glendale 48.
Where I said Demetrius made a good decision earlier in the game, that was a very poor decision. He was not in good position to catch that ball. He should have just let it hit the ground. You don't want to let the ball hit the ground, obviously, but he just wasn't in position to make the play. He should have let it go.
The ball was muffed
got
by the
away from the ball.
receivers, recovered by the kicking team. First down, Dean.
So Dean takes over with 14-11 and the third turnover of the day for Glendale. And, you know, I don't know if the first two turnovers has kept Dean in the ball game. I wouldn't really go that far, but that one could come back to haunt the Gauchos. Handoff, and this is Williams. And Williams straight ahead after a hesitation and picks up a good 4 yards, 2nd down and 6.
Well, turnovers and field position will just get you back in the football game, and this is a great opportunity for Dean College to get some points on the board. They're down 22-6. There's a lot of time left in this game, and this is a good chance for them to change the momentum back in their favor.
Jamal Small, 6 foot, 195 pounds, out of Ashbury Park, New Jersey, takes the belt line snap and now takes off with it to the near side, and a spectacular open field tackle by Coney Lenhart.
That was a great play by Lenhart. He fought off the block of the receiver. The receiver noticed that the quarterback was going to scramble. He fought off the block. It looked like Small had a big gainer coming here. And look at that beautiful open field tackle, wrapping them up. You know, we see those guys on TV, they don't put their arms around anybody anymore. They want to hit them with a shoulder and think they're going to knock them out. But great open field, picture-perfect tackle by Lenhart.
Well, I saw Kwame Lassiter the other day, and he said the exact same thing you did. The guys in the NFL, they're not tackling like they should. That's incomplete, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down for Dean College. Or check that 4th down.
Well, that was a great call by Dean College. They had the middle screen on. The receiver, number 22, Rodney Whitehead, was wide open, but a poor throw by Small, or else that play would have been big.
Moriarty in again. 4 punts, averaging about 36 yards a kick. And the kick is away, end over end, and another chance for Wilson, who bobbled it at the 14, up to the 17, and then gets leveled there a bit by David Quinn, and also tackled by Presley, number 8. Today's game brought to you by the Maricopa Community Colleges, where education and success comes first. By Glendale Community College, enroll today and make life happen. Dean College, prepare for what's next. And Cox Communications, your friend in the digital age. Today's game is also brought to you by MCTV, Maricopa College's television. We're plugged in to what's happening on your Maricopa campus. 22-6 lead for Glendale. They've got the ball, and they're coming out with Hines, and Hines just lowers the boom and picks up 4 yards. He's like the bus. And as this game continues, and as long as Glendale is leading, we're probably going to see a lot of Jamil Hines in the 4th quarter.
Well, that was what I would call a great 4-yard run. There wasn't a whole lot there, but he just put his pads down, kept his feet churning, and probably picked up 3 to 4 yards after the first contact was made.
So that brings up 2nd down and 5, officially a 5-yard pickup for the sophomore out of Chandler High School. Stone drops back, 3-step drop, fires to the flats near side. Wilson with a move at the 30. He will pick up 1st down yardage and races out of bounds near the 38.
He is fun to watch, isn't he? Boy, oh boy, he made a beautiful route and catch, and then the run after the catch was even better. He made the first man miss, stiffed on the next guy. He's a great talent.
16-yard pickup for Demetrius Wilson from the right arm of Spencer Stone, and that play almost seems unstoppable. You might see a lot more of that in this game. Here's Hines running the left side. He's getting some great blocking and finally pushed out of bounds after crossing the 50. He'll be out of bounds near the 49-yard line, so an impressive 12-yard pickup.
Well, you said it, Jeff. That was the best blocking on a zone scheme that Glendale has had all this afternoon. number 73 Preston Brooksby, number 75 Colin Powers. They just drove those men off the ball, and so Hines was able to pick up about 12-13 on that game.
They feature Doug Rishal, the fullback here, and he will block for Hines. A little ISO to the left, and he didn't get much. In fact, he lost a yard. And a great read. Albert Presley was in there, along with a guy that we've been talking about all afternoon long, Charles Watson, the linebacker.
Well, these Dean linebackers are really good football players. They've been in on a lot of tackles already today, and they'll be making more before the day's over. But the offensive line for Glendale has done a decent job all afternoon of negating, the big plays by those Dean linebackers.
Hines has carried the ball 11 times for 51 yards. 10:49 on play action. Here's a pass, and Talon Haggard with a spectacular catch for first down yardage and a gain of 14 yards. A young man who came in with 57 catches for 824 yards and 9 touchdowns.
And I think that was Stone's best throw of the night. He really put that ball right where it needed to be caught, just over the reach of the linebacker. That was Watson, Charles Watson. They got a little drop in there.
Hines like a rocket coming out of the backfield, and he's inside the 30-yard line of Dean College.
Glendale's going at no huddle with their 2 tight end offense, and they're really trying to put it on Dean College right now. They're trying to take the momentum and just keep it in their advantage and run plays very, very quickly right at that Dean defense.
Stone under center after an 8-yard pickup, brings up 2nd down and 2. Hines running left this time, finds a cutback lane and exploits it, but then got dropped immediately thereafter by Irvin Johnson. Out of Bradenton, Florida, the 6'1", 202-pound strong safety, but they are moving the chains, and it's a first down.
Well, the left side of the Glendale line did it again. They drove him off the ball, but as you said, Irvin Johnson, that was quite a tackle in the open field on Hines.
So Hines still out there. Of course, you'll see Anthony Hughes probably in here shortly. And the pressure on Stone, and there was a breakdown on the blocking of that right side. What a great job by Intreri. Mike Intreri, a 6', 247-pounder out of Westerly, Rhode Island.
Well, Jeff, that's one of those plays that you're counting on the defense to go with the fake. And they didn't go with the fake, and that left Stone in a bad way with that outside linebacker all over him. And a big loss for the Glendale offense.
He loses 10 and now facing 2nd and 20 from the 33 and an incomplete pass underneath. Looked like it might have been broken up by John Carbone, a 267-pounder out of Spring Hill, Florida. I notice a lot of Florida natives on this Dean College roster.
Well, there's great athletes all over the United States, but Florida is, I believe, number 2 in the country for major college football players. Texas, I believe, is number 1. Florida, number 2. Georgia right now is taking over for California for the 3rd most Division I players.
Wow. So 3rd and 20. Stone out of shotgun, and he fires, and it's intercepted. His 3rd of the day, picked up by Donovan Walker, and he's out of bounds at the 28-yard line. The 4th Glendale turnover of the afternoon.
Well, mistakes are what has kept Dean College in this football game. You know, the 3 interceptions now, the muffed punt by Demetrius Wilson earlier this half. You know, they had a chance to really put this team away, and they have not done it. And that's scary when you don't put a team away when you have that chance. And Dean is the type of team that knows how to win. They've won a lot of games in the 4th quarter this year, close games. So Glendale making those mistakes really hurt them.
So Dean comes out on offense, 1st down and 10. One of the rare times that Jackson has caught a pass here today, and Glendale just blew that play up near the 34-yard line. There is a loose ball, but I'll tell you, Jackson took a big-time hit, and they are wrestling for the ball as the scrum begins.
Well, Tim Picaretto is the guy that came in there and really put a hit on Jackson. And I don't know if they're calling that a fumble or not. Haven't seen anything indication. It looks like the back judge is pointing that it's Glendale ball. Let me see.
The result of the play was a fumble, recovered by Glendale. 1st down.
There it is. It's official. Ball was recovered by, I believe it was Apollo Ford. 275-pounder.
Well, I hope we can get a good replay on this one because I did not see when the ball came loose, but I saw that hit by Picaretto. He came out of the middle of the field and what looked like was going to be a huge run after the catch, and he just put a wallop on that receiver.
So with 8:56 left to go here in the third period, the Gauchos lead at 22-6, and Stone comes back and he got bailed out again. Handoff, and this is Anthony Hughes out of Centennial High School. He had a great career up there, but he's going to be stopped absolutely cold behind the line. Petard and Watson, their two top defenders in terms of tackles on the play. No gain on the play, actually lost a yard.
Watch that hit by Shamarcus Petard, number 45. Boy, he stood up Hughes and drove him back. Really nice read and hit by the middle linebacker for the Dean College Bulldogs.
8:25 on the clock, third quarter action. Talon Haggard, the 6'2", 225-pound tight end in motion, and they throw up to the other tight end, I believe. Is that Matt Ball? That's Matt Ball. Check that. Nope, Willie Residio. Willie Residio. Yeah, I apologize. Sometimes these numbers for Glendale, they kind of blend a little bit up here. So Willie comes up with a catch and puts Glendale in a 3rd and 2 situation. 2 ticks of the clock, under 8 minutes to go in the third. Stone was an outstanding player at Chaparral High School. He threw for over 2,500 yards this year for Mickey Bell and the Glendale Gauchos. 3rd down and 2, and Dean jumped off. The question is, was he drawn off? And I think he may very well have been. Usually that line judge comes up there and he's giving you that illegal motion.
False start
Well,
on
not
the
this
offense,
time.
number 18. 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
Well, we look for the interior linemen to be the ones drawing the defensive line off, but that was a wide receiver, Antoine Jackson, that moved early. So that's a big mistake by Glendale. That would have been a 1st down and kept their drive alive.
Stone has thrown the ball 31 times already, and is that a little high for a Glendale quarterback?
Well,
at this
talking
juncture
to
in the
Coach
game?
Solers before the game earlier this week, he said they were going to throw the ball more in this game, and I'm not sure what the thinking was, but he said that was definitely part of the game plan.
He's got time, and he throws wide open. Talon Haggard inside the 10-yard line. Wide open, and he'll be wrapped up near the 9.
Well, and that was a great adjustment on the ball by Haggard, but also where Stone needed to throw that ball because he saw the safety, Irvin Johnson, coming out of the hash there and off the hash to make the hit on Haggard.
Hughes cutting the edge, breaks a tackle at the 6 and is down close to the 4. There's a penalty marker in the area of holding. Came flying in, and let's get Seawolf's
Holding
call. That's
On
exactly
the
what
offense,
it
number
was.
72, 10 yards from the previous spot. Replay, 1st down.
Stone 18 of 32 now for 282 yards passing, but the 3 interceptions, you never know what might have happened.
Sure.
And he
No,
has thrown for 2 touchdowns also.
No, he's forced the ball a few times when he shouldn't have had, and but all the other time he's been very accurate with most of his throws. So he's gotten them big plays, but he's hurting them a few times.
All right, 1st down. They redo it after the holding penalty, and Hughes is going to be stopped. Man, that's some of the best defense we've seen, and that was led by Lance Burlingame, 6'5", 270-pounder out of Hyannis, Maryland.
Well, the amazing thing on that play, it looked like Glendale had that block pretty well, and Hughes went to make his cut, and just as he made the cut, about 3 of those Bulldogs came off the blocks and were right there to meet him.
So now it's 2nd and goal from the 19. Spencer Stone, passing situation. They spread 2 receivers to the far side. Stone out of shotgun. A 2-step drop with time, fires over the middle, and he threw that one into the forest. There was 3 defenders in the area, and it's incomplete, bringing up 3rd and 19 for Glendale with 6:21 on the clock, and Glendale leading 22-6.
Well, Spencer Stone would have been a little more patient on that play. He had both of his crossing route receivers breaking open against that press man coverage, and he could have hit Demetrius Wilson on the run and possibly taken it to the end zone.
Third quarter action, 6:21 on the clock after the incomplete pass. Spread offense, empty backfield. Stone again with time, lofts it to the near corner, or actually over towards that pylon, and it's incomplete. Intended receiver that time was one of the tight ends, Andrew Augsburger out of Moon Valley High School.
Well, they had first and goal at the 2-3 yard line, and now they're attempting a field goal from their 27. So disappointment on the part of the Glendale offense of really converting when they had a great chance to get a touchdown. But this would be big points for them to get another 3 points on the board.
Rushoff trying to go 3 for 3 from field goals. He's made one from 31, 34, and the kick is good from 37 yards out. With 6 minutes and 12 seconds left to go, third quarter action. It's the 31st annual Valley of the Sun Bowl. Glendale leads it 25-6.
My parents always tell me the quality of your life depends on the quality of your choices. So I researched my choices and found a school that meets my expectations. It exceeds them even.
Discover yourself at the Maricopa Community Colleges, maricopa.edu.
Bobby Hodge getting set to kick off after a 37-yard field goal by Jordan Rushoff out of Campbell County High School in Wyoming, and that extends the lead 25-6. End over end kick fielded by Whitehead near the 15, races to the 25, dances at the 30, finds a seam along the far sideline, and then pushed out of bounds by Young, DeAndre Young, who's just got DeAndre Young, tremendous quickness as he stops that return that went 32 yards.
Yeah, he's a very instinctive football player. He makes a lot of plays on special teams and defense, and I think he's only a freshman. Let me double check that. But yeah, he's only a freshman, so he's got a big career ahead of him.
Candace Hurdle is on the Dean sideline.
Thanks, Jeff. Sharmarcus Pittard was slow to come off of the field after that field goal, and the athletic trainer was sticking close to him, making sure he was okay. Looks like he's still suffering from that hit he took at the end of second quarter, so we'll keep an eye out and see how he's doing the rest of the game.
Yeah, Pittard has been a valuable weapon out of Athens, Georgia for this Dean College team.
False start on the offense, number 85. 5-yard penalty, first down.
Well, more good news here for Glendale as Dean College continues to shoot themselves in the foot. This is like the 8th penalty already on them here today.
Well, long trip, little rust from not playing for a few weeks, but
2,700 miles.
Yeah, I'm sure the coach is very disappointed with the number of penalties that they've had so far.
Now Small works out of a 1st and 15 jam and has time to throw the ball and throws it over the middle, and for the second time he has had someone pretty much wide open. That was Malcolm Bagley, their third receiver out of Orange, New Jersey, and he just a little too much on it.
Yeah, and Malcolm's really disappointed because he knew he was open and, better throw. He's may not have scored, but he'd have gotten a 40, 50-yard gain on that play. That's about the second or third deep ball that they've been wide open, and Small just hasn't been able to connect.
I think that was Lenhart who was closing in on that, and by the time the ball got to the receiver, Lenhart was there. So now 2nd and 15, Small 5 of 16 passing, dumps it off underneath, and Whitehead, who hasn't been a part of the offense at all here today, and he's going to be dropped. And that was a pretty good play by Picaretto.
Yeah, Picaretto has made a couple of really big hits off those screen-type plays. He's snuffing them out pretty well, but it's a big 3rd and 8 for Dean College at the midfield stripe.
It is a 3-possession game, a 19-point deficit, third quarter action. 5 minutes and 25 seconds on the clock. Glendale leads at 25-6. Dean out of the shotgun. This is Small, the quarterback, throwing and incomplete. There was a little contact between Treg Waters and Rodney Whitehead, who was the only guy that could have caught that ball. But I think at this level, there is no uncatchable rule. He tripped him up. And
Pass interference on the defense, number 4. It's an automatic first down at the spot of the foul.
in the NFL, a lot of people say, well, that was an uncatchable ball, but it doesn't matter, does it, at this level?
You know, I don't know. Be honest with you, I get confused on that. Having coached at this level, now at the high school level.
Yep. Well, I know definitely at the high school level because I talked to an official last year about that very same play, and he says, hey, there's no such thing. At the high school level, and I would imagine it's the same here in college. Now, the NFL, that's a completely different game.
Right.
So it's first down and 10 from the 44. Small, the pitch out. Williams breaks to the outside, and Lenhart got over there and wrapped him up. He was eventually pushed out of bounds by Brendan Murphy. Two guys that came up and made a huge play.
You know, Jeff, you got to be impressed with the Glendale pursuit. I'll tell you what, that play looked like it had yardage all over it, and 3 or 4 of the Glendale defenders just wouldn't be denied, just kept getting off of blocks and getting to the football and kept it to be a 2-yard gain.
I know it's a 19-point deficit, but I'll tell you what, I think Dean College, it would bode them well if Jamal Small starts. I think they should start running the option with this guy. He's got the ability to break it loose as he passes to Whitehead in the flats to the near side, and he's going to dive inside the 35 after picking up close to 9 yards.
Yeah, I agree with you. Small is got to be one of the key factors in this game. He's got to be making plays with both his arms and his legs, and if he doesn't, I don't see them getting back in the game. But he can do it. I mean, he's a talented guy. I wouldn't be surprised on this 3rd and short if he doesn't run the option right here.
He's got Andre Williams in the backfield. Williams, their leading rusher this year, averaged nearly 5 yards a carry, and there's the option, and he's going to take it himself up across the 30 and finally dragged down near the 29-yard line. Another tackle for Brendan Murphy, but not before Dean College picks up a fresh set of downs.
Yeah, very nicely executed play. There was just a zone blocking scheme to the offensive left side. And Small saw the seam open up just outside his tight end and just accelerated for that first down. And we're probably going to see more of those different types of options run by Small throughout the rest of this half.
72 yards rushing on the day for the Dean College offense. 3:45 on the clock, third quarter action. Glendale with a 25-6 lead, but Dean starting to move the ball. First down and 10. Here's the option running right this time. Williams stopped behind the line of scrimmage. And even though Treg Waters, there is a penalty marker down on the field, even though Treg Waters really did not make the tackle, he's the one that made that play.
Yeah, he forced the play, forced the runner to run towards the sideline where Brendan Murphy, actually the cornerback, did a really nice job keeping
Job
containment.
Block on the offense, numbers 74 and 76. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay first down.
Well, that's that call that I just scares the heck out of me, the old chop block where one offensive player blocks a man above the waist and the second offensive player blocks below the waist. And I hope there wasn't an injury on that play because that can be very, very dangerous. And that's why it's a 15-yard penalty.
And rightly so. 3 minutes, 30 seconds. Third quarter action, 31st annual Valley of the Sun Bowl. Glendale has been in this game 18 times now. And they have made it here 3 years in a row and trying to win their 3rd consecutive Valley of the Sun Bowl. Here's the pressure. Might have been a hold. They get to the quarterback. He throws incomplete. Tremendous pressure applied by the front wall and led by Marshall Pugh, one of the mainstays on Mickey Bell's defense. 6'3", 230-pounder, and yes, out of Ironwood High School.
And that was nice coverage by number 27 for the Gauchos, Tyson Riley, a young man that doesn't play a whole lot, but was in there on that last play and did a nice job on that post route.
3:09, clock stops, third quarter action. So Dean College looking at a 2nd and 25 from the Glendale 44. Dump it off to Williams. Open running room. first down yardage and out of bounds inside the 10. Touchdown saving tackle by DeAndre Young. That one is going to go for about 35, 34 yards and a first down, and that's the first big play we've seen from Dean in a while.
Well, it's a great job by the wide receivers from Dean College, number 11 and number 22, respectively. That's Malcolm Bagley and Rodney Whitehead. Got great blocks down the field to spring that, and it's a design play. It's a design play for them to throw a screen behind the line and get those wide receivers blocking the DBs, and they did a great job to spring Andre Williams up that Dean sideline.
2:35 on the clock. Handoff Williams, and he goes right into that front line of defense led by linebacker David Carlin, young man who played for Payson High School. The Longhorns, 6'2", 235 pounds, one of the best small school football programs in the state.
Well, you know, Jeff, other than the option runs by Small, Dean really hasn't been able to run the ball too well against that Glendale defense. So that front seven has really, really come to play today for the Gauchos.
All right, second down and 10. Under 2 minutes to go, third quarter action, and Small took off with it, called his own number, and he met leading tackler for the Gauchos, Matt Gorvin, the outstanding safety out of Deer Valley High School, the high school that Joe Kirsting is the head coach of. And congratulations, by the way, on really a tremendous year in what you've done with that program over there. I think you should be commended. And did you say you went to the quarters or the semis?
Quarterfinals. Yeah, we got beat by those Centennial Coyotes. It was a heck of a game. We beat them in the regular season when they were ranked number 1 in the state, and then we got knocked off in the playoffs by a touchdown.
Here's a throw into the flats, and that's Whitehead getting the call, and he's inside the 8. Another tackle by Lenhart. Cody's had a fine game here today for Glendale.
He really has. You know, Cody's been on several plays. His coverage has been really good. He's been in the right position almost all game long, and impressive what the secondary has done for the Gauchos as well.
So we're down to 51
timeout.
Seconds, and
Dean
timeout
College, it's their
Dean
first charge
College.
timeout
An
in the
interesting
second half.
timeout here, though it is 4th and goal. 4th and goal from the 7-yard line. 51 seconds left to play. Third quarter action. It's the 2011 Valley of the Sun Bowl on MC TV Sports. 5-6 in favor of the Glendale Gauchos. We started today's action with a threat of rain, and I look out beyond the stadium here. There's clouds all over, but the rain has held off through almost 3/4 of play. 51 seconds left to go, and a big play here for Dean College, facing 4th and goal from the 7. On a slant pattern, the ball is caught and into the end zone. Robbie Jackson. That is a huge score. A 7-yard pass from Jamal Small, and Dean just climbed right back into the ball game at 25-13.
Yeah, he had very little space to put that ball into, and he got it right there into the back number of Robbie Walker, and Walker made Robbie Jackson, and Jackson made a heck of a catch and fought to get into that end zone, and then you hit the nail on the head. That puts Dean back in this ball game.
Dean has already missed a field goal. Remember the play back in the second quarter that Avery Boynton ran back 93 yards, but that's not the case here. 25-13 is our score with 47 seconds to go here in the third period.
I'm the first one in my family to go to college. My dad says I'm a pioneer. That's cool and all. But this pioneer still needs a little care and guidance.
Discover yourself at the Maricopa Community Colleges, maricopa.edu.
Dean College getting back into this Valley of the Sun Bowl game with a 7-yard touchdown pass from their quarterback Jamal Small to Robbie Jackson, their top receiver this year. A 12-play, 52-yard drive, eating up 5 minutes and 19 seconds. That's exactly what the doctor ordered for Dean College. And now they'll kick off. And it's a wobbly kick that takes a bounce and goes out of play near the 23-yard line, and it looks like Glendale's going to have outstanding starting field position again. And we talk about field position, and it has helped Glendale quite a bit in this game.
Oh, absolutely. You know, when you start at your own 40 rather than starting at your own 20,
Free kick
it
out of
opens up
bounds.
that playbook.
Glendale is elected to take the ball first down at the 40-yard line.
Glendale's first 2 scoring drives, they started at their own 42 and their own 48 respectively. And now they have 46 seconds left to go here in the third quarter and lead by 12. So we go from a 3-possession game to a 2-possession game. And Jamil Hines is going to be the featured back. He had 870 yards rushing this year. There are 8 touchdowns and 717 yards, and that might have been a broken play.
Lamonte Gaddis made a really nice play, and it looks like we got a late flag, and I think it might be on number 99, Burlingame. Something was said after that play, and the official threw that flag immediately.
Dead ball. Unsportsmanlike conduct, number 99 of the defense. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
I wonder what Todd Vassey was saying to Burlingame. They got all the momentum in the world, and now you give them the short field to some degree with the kick out of bounds, and now 15 more yards with an unnecessary penalty.
Well, I like what the coach did after that play, though, and you don't see that happen as much anymore. But he immediately took Burlingame out of the game, to say something to him, get him calmed down a little bit, and I'm sure he'll let him back in after he calms down. But that is a big penalty when they just had the momentum on their side.
Sam Martino is the fullback. The tailback is Hines. Hines gets the call, running left, and he got tripped up, or he would have probably busted that one for first down yardage. Charles Watson with the ankle tackle as we come to the end of the third period. However, the Gauchos are in a no huddle again, so hold the phone. And now they're going to let the third period run out. With the score, the Gauchos 25 and the visiting Dean College Bulldogs 13.
Experience the Maricopa Community Colleges on Maricopa Now. From educational and inspirational to just plain fun. We'll take you on adventures with students and faculty, show you how to reduce your carbon footprint, and teach you how to make a new favorite dish. Maricopa Now will introduce you to the people, places, and programs that make the Maricopa Colleges unique. Maricopa Now can be seen every day on MCTV, Cox Cable Channel 115.
Well, appropriately, the sun has come out on Hanhila Stadium here, Glendale, Arizona, for the 31st Annual Valley of the Sun Bowl. Glendale in possession with a 12-point lead, and Hines will get the call. He's going to be hit behind the line of scrimmage. First in there was Burlingame, the big number 99, 6'5", 270-pounder.
Well, somebody missed their block on that play. I'm not sure who it was.
I think it was a couple of guys.
A couple of guys, yeah. And the other guy in there was Brian Bosworth, 58. He was right there just as Hines got the handoff.
So a loss of 5. Hines has carried the ball 16 times for 63 yards. Stone now works out a shotgun, facing a third and about 12. And to the air, near side, he finds his tight end, but only for about 4 yards. They needed a lot more than that. And Charles Watson, this guy is all over the place. He's a linebacker. Coach, he's listed at 5'10", 195, but he's almost like a kind of a nickel back or something. He's not really a prototypical linebacker, and he plays sideline to sideline.
Yes, he does. He's one of those athletic guys, undersized for a linebacker, but a great athlete that when the ball's in the open field, he's typically going to be around that ball.
So Robinson, 4 punts, averaging 38 yards. Gets this one away, and it's going to go into the end zone. That'll be a 45-yard punt. And with the touchback, a 20-yard return. 13:35 on the clock. Fourth quarter action. You're watching the 2011 Valley of the Sun Bowl only on MCTV Sports. And Coach, now Dean College gets the ball back. They scored on their last possession. They looked awfully good. They've looked good at times. But now they've got to prove that they are a team that has traveled 2,700 plus miles playing in a completely different league. Though the one thing we didn't mention at the top of the broadcast, this team has played 3 less games in Glendale.
That's true, and they should be a little fresher because of that, but that travel might have played a little
Small coming off the bootleg, finds a wide open Robbie Jackson at midfield and move the chains. It's a first down, a pickup of 29 yards.
Well, that's that big play receiver we talked about at the start of the telecast today, and that Jackson, we've been waiting for him to explode, and there's another big play for him. He got the touchdown on the last drive, so watch out, Gauchos. You better know where number 3 is.
That was a well-executed play by Jamal Small, who I think wore number 10 all season long, and they changed his number to 15. First down and 10, handoff, running right, and a big hole, and a gain of 9. Man, he hit that hole quickly. He was brought down by Tim Pacaretto of the Glendale Gauchos, the 6'1 linebacker.
Well, Mickey Bell, I'm sure, is concerned at this point. He's seen his defense play well most of the game, but the last series and now the first 2 plays of this series, they haven't looked very good, and maybe that big offensive line for Dean College is wearing down the Gauchos.
So a 9-yard pickup for Andre Johnson, their second rusher, leading rusher this year, and Marshall Pugh came in, broke that one up, grabbed the ankles of 38 Andre Johnson and brought him down from behind. Very athletic play for Marshall.
Well, and this is a huge, huge play for Dean College right now. They're at the plus 42, 43-yard line. They've got third and about a yard and a half. They haven't done a great job in this situation up to this point, but this is where they like to run the option, and Small likes to keep the ball, so watch out for number 15 on this play.
Dean College, founded in 1865, and their football team trails 25-13 with 12 minutes to go, and just a power run, just sheer strength. Johnson took on 2 defenders right at the point of contact and picks up the first down as we send it down to the sideline.
Well, Coach, you're talking about the offensive line for Dean, obviously doing a good job against this Glendale defensive line. They struggled a little bit, looked like in the second half of the Glendale defensive line getting the best of them. But the one thing I'm noticing now, as you mentioned it, is that they're doing a really good job, the Dean offensive line, of reestablishing the line of scrimmage on this Glendale defense. So just something to look more for as this fourth quarter winds on.
All right, first down. Here's the reverse. Whitehead. He's got some blocking, and that is an outstanding job. Treg Waters and a couple of others, including DeAndre Moore-Young. That could have went for a lot more,
Officials
but they were
timeout
able
for
to get
injury.
some containment there. We got an injury timeout. One of the players here for the Dean College team comes up shaken up, and with 11:09 left to go here, fourth quarter action, Gauchos lead 25-13.
Hi everybody, I'm Candace Hurdle with MCTV Sports, and it's time to get ready for football. We've got all the action for you this season with the best in junior college football. Join us for our weekly highlights with great football games on our Maricopa Gridiron Show.
From Glendale and Phoenix College to Mesa and Scottsdale, it's nonstop gridiron action. We'll have interviews of coaches and players and some of the best sideline highlights.
Join us each week for Maricopa Gridiron. Never miss a game because MCTV will be there.
11 minutes left to go here in the 31st annual Valley of the Sun Bowl. Dean College trailing 25-13 and running the option with their quarterback Jamal Small. He gets the edge, he gets the first down, and will eventually be pushed out of bounds over on the near side by Cody Lenhart, who has been one of the leading tacklers. And Coach, after that 12-yard pickup, you got to certainly have a lot of concerns with your defense. All of a sudden, Dean's winning that line of scrimmage battle.
Well, what I see is that Dean sideline over there. They're excited. They know they're in the game. They know they're a team that has come back several times this year and won games from behind. And with Jamal Small and the other athletes on that offensive unit, they can put points on the board.
25-13 is the score. Glendale with the lead. The handoff goes to Johnson. The ball came out as he is brought down after about 5 yards on the pickup. Cy Moffmer heading to Eastern Michigan, 6'2", 290 pounds.
Well, Johnson was very fortunate. That ball came loose, but he had long enough right arm to go grab that ball and pull back underneath his body, or else that would have been a turnover for the Bulldogs.
Approaching 100 yards rushing on the day is Dean College. Small, 14 carries for 50 yards. Let's see if he runs the option here on 2nd down and 5. No, he hands off to Johnson, who breaks a tackle and slices his way through and into the end zone, and that is a touchdown from 18 yards out. And that's going to cut the deficit to 6 at 25-19.
Yeah, and a missed tackle by the Glendale defense, and Johnson was able to just burst through there and lower his shoulder and get into that end zone.
9 carries for 51 yards, his first score of the afternoon in this Valley of the Sun Bowl. Small, who was not the initial holder at the start of the season, and they had a lot of problems with their kicking game because of it. And the extra point by Moriarty is good. He's done a fine job here. Had 1 block that resulted in a 2-point play. And how big is that play all of a sudden? Because if they don't get that 2-point play, it's a 3-point differential. 9:43 left to go, 4th quarter action. It's 25-20. Valley of the Sun will continue in just a moment. Blaine Moriarty to kick things off. Dean's right back into this ball game. They have trailed the entire contest. Trailed 10-0 at the beginning. And now slipping, and boy, a heads-up play by Doug Rashaw, one of the up men, the fullback on the return, and he gets it to the 31. That is a heads-up play. How many times do you see that, Coach, where the ball bounces like that and there's no aggressiveness to get to it? An 11-yard return for Doug Rashaw.
Yeah, Doug did a really nice job on that play, because if he doesn't get on that ball, that thing is rolling around, and there's no other Gauchos in the area because the return man slipped and fell. You know, Jeff, I was thinking before that last series that Dean College has not been able to drive a long distance against Glendale's defense, and I don't know if they'd be able to do it. And sure enough, 80 plays, 80 yards, 8 plays on that last drive for the score.
Fake the reverse. And it looks like Talon Haggard took the snap and runs it up for about a yard gain. Not much there. Stone, the quarterback, we said he's been spectacular at times. He's also thrown in 3 interceptions. He's 19 of 35 for 286 passing yards. And right now he's not taking the snap.
Well, the Stone's back in there now. They've kept him in. They put him at receiver when Haggard goes to the Wildcat. So Stone's back under center.
He's got Jackson to the far side, and they send Wilson in motion. 4 catches for 59 yards. Back to pass Stone, looking to his right, throws. That was nearly picked off. That would have been number 4. The intended receiver was Antoine Jackson, and it was broken up by Darren Campbell, the sophomore free safety.
Well, that ball was thrown behind Jackson. If he leads him on that play, they had a chance for a pretty big play, but because he threw it behind, Campbell nearly picked it off.
Jackson fell down. I think he might have been tripped up by Campbell. That could have had disaster written all over with 8:49 to go in regulation. 3rd and 10. Out of shotgun, Stone with time. Lofts it up. Wilson ran out of real estate, incomplete. Made a great effort looking up into that sun. That's another factor you got to be aware of if you're the quarterback going from left to right here.
Yeah, that sun is at a difficult angle, and the lower it gets, it's going to be more and more difficult for the receivers that are on the Glendale sideline looking back to the south, away from the scoreboard. So that's going to be a challenge for Glendale as they are heading towards the scoreboard this 4th quarter.
Zach Robinson kicking for the 6th time today, averaging 42 yards a kick, and they need a good one here, and they got a pretty good one. All the way back is Whitehead to his own 20, up across the 25, 35, inside and up across the 40, up across midfield. He's got 3 men to beat, and he is finally wrapped up inside the 30-yard line. Man, has this game completely turned around. Tackle was made by Antoine Jackson. And now you give Dean College a short field, 8:29 left to play. And Glendale in that first half, and I would say they had a somewhat dominant first half. They had a chance to maybe put them away a little bit, and those turnovers really have cost them.
Well, turnovers cost them. Kicking game after that play has cost them. Field position issues have cost them. So Glendale, it's gut time right now. They have got to see what they're made of. It's character time. Who's going to step up and make the plays at this point?
It's too bad they wasted a 54-yard punt. They come out running, Dean College that is, and the Bulldogs get a pretty good gain on first down. The tackle was made by Matt Corbin, who we have mentioned the leading tackler, according to the National Junior College website. And a gain of 4, 2nd and 6 coming up. Glendale needs a big play, and they could use a turnover on defense here.
Yes, they can. But right now, it's coming down to that Dean offensive line. They're going to let their offensive line determine the game, I think, at this point. They think they've got some momentum. They're coming off the ball, and I think they're going to keep it on the ground for a while here.
Here's the bootleg and the pass, and right through the hands of the intended mark, the fullback, and the catch is made by Robbie Jackson and went right through the hands of Dimitri Davis, who is their third back. And a fortuitous play sets up a first down for Dean College with 7:45 to go in the fourth.
Well, when momentum's on your side, I guess the ball bounces your way, and that was a heck of a break for Dean College right there.
Timeout. Dean College, that's their second timeout of the half.
And then Dean College has just wasted their second timeout.
Well, Jeff, Jamal Small, the quarterback, is hurting right now. That's why they called that timeout, and they'd either have to take him out of the game or use this timeout to let him recover. Now, whether he's going to be able to come back or not, I don't know, but you can tell he's really hurting over on that Dean sideline right now.
It looks like the left arm of Jamal Small, number 15, the quarterback. Of course, he's a right-handed throwing quarterback, but you never know how that might affect him taking a snap.
Well, he got hit just as he released that ball, and I didn't see which defender for Glendale made the hit, but evidently that's what happened on the play that caused those issues. Well, here it is right here, the bootleg off the play action. You can't see who makes the hit, but as you could see, there was a Glendale defender coming just as he released that ball, and he took a good shot to that left arm and shoulder area.
Let's send it down to Mike Caratanudo. Mike, what do you got?
Yeah, thanks, Jeff. I was just listening to Coach Bell talk to his defense, and the one thing he was saying, he's like, you guys, we have you in the right spots. Make the tackle. In the last few series, you guys have been talking about, Glendale hasn't really made the tackle, so it'll be interesting, like you said here, if they can get a turnover, but fundamentally just make the tackle when they get in position to do it.
So that big offensive front line, good job, Mike. Carry Guy on that right guard. They're running the option to that left side and stop cold. And it's one of the veterans, David Carlin out of Payson High School, the Longhorns, a 235-pounder in one of the biggest plays we've seen for Glendale in this second half, and they needed that one.
That was a huge play by Carlin, absolutely. It looked like they had the corner of the defense, and he came from inside out and made a big hit for no gain. Be huge here for Glendale to hold them to a field goal. Up 5 points.
Second down and 10, 7 minutes on the clock, fourth quarter action. Bowl game, Valley of the Sun. Inside handoff goes to Andre Johnson. And he is going to be tackled near the 10.
Well, this is just their quick-hitting dive play. This usually is to set up something to come out to the outside, like their play action, their bootleg, or their option. But pretty good play by the Glendale defense, 3rd and 7. Big, big play in this game.
Andre Johnson tackled by Carlin, who makes his second tackle. That was a vicious collision. Johnson has carried the ball 12 times for 59 yards. 3rd down and 6, and it's incomplete. Treg Waters timed it perfectly. And now decision-making time for Dean College, trailing by 5 with 6:21 left to go. It's 4th and 7. I would say it's a no-brainer, but do we have a penalty marker on the field?
Timeout.
Nope.
Dean College, that's their 3rd and final timeout.
Wow, so Dean calls a timeout, and would you think that maybe they're considering on going for it here?
Well, absolutely. That's why he's called the timeout. He's trying to make a decision whether to kick it or go for it. I think they're going to go for it, and now the decision is, well, what do they call? So 4th and 7, they can get a first down still. The ball is just outside the 10. I don't know. I'm not sure what they got in their bag of tricks, but they've come up with some big plays this half, and I'm sure they got one more ready to go. It's going to be up to that Glendale defense to get the stop.
Mike Harritenuto is on the Glendale sideline.
Yeah, thanks, Jeff. And obviously, Coach Bell talking to his defense. They can obviously get a first down before they get a touchdown, but I wanted to touch on, too, we haven't really mentioned it much, obviously all the other bowl games going on today. Arizona Western playing for a national title, hosting their first ever bowl game in the Toro Bowl, and another rematch from the WSFL. Eastern went up to Snow to take on the Badgers, and obviously we have the oldest bowl game here in the Valley of the Sun Bowl. You mentioned it, 31 years, and, well, it's going to very well come down to this play for Dean. Back to you guys.
That's exciting from Glendale Community College. In the Valley of the Sun Bowl, Dean trails by 5, going for it on 4th and 7. Small to the air. He'll throw it into the end zone. He overshoots the intended target. It's incomplete. Rodney Whitehead, and he was open. And with 6:17 left to go, still plenty of time, Dean rolls the dice. They have used all their timeouts, and they still trail by 5.
Well, Dean had a very well-designed play called. They had excellent protection for the quarterback. They caught Glendale in man coverage. Whitehead had Treg Waters beat on the crossing route. Poor throw by Jamal Small, or this game would be a 1-point lead for Dean College.
So Glendale will take over at their own 10-yard line. Now it all comes down to some ball security. Can't afford to turn it over now. And here's Hines, and that's who you want to carry the ball in this situation, and he picks up 5 yards right out of the chute.
That's a big 5-yard gain for Glendale. The last time they had the ball, they didn't go anyplace. So they need to pick up 1 or 2 first downs to get a little momentum back on their side and at least change the field position.
Mike Intreri, big number 91, one of their top players, in on the tackle, a couple of others. He actually picked up 6 yards on the play. Hines now over 70 yards on the ground, and I think that's, I think getting 90 or 100 yards out of him, that's probably all that Glendale will need to win this game. Leading by 5, 5:30 on the clock, and this time stopped by Charles Watson and company. 94 Carpone, the 267-pound down lineman, and they lose a couple of yards on the play. Hines not too happy with that last play, and now 3rd and 5 coming up.
Well, we got a huge play here on 3rd down. Glendale does not want to have to put that punting unit back on the field this quickly. They want to get at least 1 first down to keep their defense off the field.
Man-to-man coverage on the 2 wideouts. Stone over the middle and a deflected pass. Wilson could not hold on to it. It was pretty good coverage too, but would not have been enough for a first down at the point of where he almost caught the ball.
Well, I thought Stone got a little antsy on that play. They only had a 3-man rush. He had plenty of time. He could have let Demetrius Wilson get a little further across the formation and to get a little more separation. And if he would have, a good chance he would have caught it and got some better gain out of it. But that's a big series for Dean College to go 3 and out against the Gauchos.
Zach Robinson, Glendale punter, had a 54-yard punt his last time, and he's averaging 44. And boy, did he land into that one.
5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
I mean, he easily kicked that ball over Whitehead's head. That would have been a 35. That would have been a 75-yard punt. 75.
Oh, yeah. He boomed it, that's for sure.
So now the line of scrimmage is the 10, and he's punting out of his own end zone, and he lands into another beauty. That one went 62 yards in the air. And the ball comes loose, but unfortunately for Glendale, they did not recover, though they're still fighting for it. That's a good call by the official. And in the save the day was Jake Albert. 53-yard punt. So he's had a 54, a 75, and a 53, though the 75 didn't count.
Didn't count, yeah. Hey, do you believe in fate?
Absolutely.
Well, Dean College got the nice break on the deflected pass down on their sideline, and now they get a nice break on a fumble that goes right to Jacob Albert. So it's getting a little scary if you're for the Gauchos here.
They've got to finish it out, and they still trail by 5 as Small goes long and deep. He's got a man, and it's incomplete. Spectacular defense in the secondary, and DeAndre Moore Young has had a fantastic game here this afternoon.
I'll tell you, I like the way he plays football. We've seen Glendale play a couple of times this year, and DeAndre Moore Young has just got a knack for making plays. You know, I talked to the coaches about him, and he isn't one of the best practice guys, which, you know, some of those guys don't practice very well, but when the lights are on, when it's live action, he steps it up.
So Dean College comes out, 2nd down and 10. Featuring Andre Johnson in the backfield. Small will set up the screen, and the ball's corralled by Johnson in the backfield, and he races up the midfield. And let's send it down after the tackle was made by Dallas Nichols to Mike Caratanudo. Our check that we're going over to the Dean side, Candace Hurdle.
Thanks, Jeff. Coach Vassy said before the half that his team needed to tighten up on offense if they're going to get back in this game, and that's exactly what they've done. A few mistakes here and there, but now that they have possession, they have another chance to take the lead and take it back, and that's exactly what they need. Jeff.
All right, thank you very much, Candace. We got an injured Glendale player, and with the officials timeout, we got 4:25 left to go here in the 4th period. Glendale clinging to a 5-point lead over the visiting Dean College Bulldogs. 3rd down and 4 for Dean College, Valley of the Sun Bowl. 4:25 to go here in the 4th period, and Jackson with the catch. And that's going to be a Dean College 1st down, another big 3rd down conversion. You know, Coach, coming into this game, Dean College was fairly efficient in those 3rd down conversions, 40%.
Well, this second half, they've been awesome. They look like a different football team. This 4th quarter, they look like a different team. They look fresh, they look excited, and they've been executing very well.
They feature Andre Johnson, their leading rusher here tonight. And the pressure on Small, and he's going down, a quarterback sack. Cy Moffmer. Boy, that was just monster. That was a monster sack. 6'2", 290-pounder out of Apache Junction.
Well, the other guy that came in on that, they had a zone blitz from the wide side of the field, and that was Dallas Nichols that applied pressure and forced the quarterback towards Moffmer, and a big, big play for the Glendale defense.
It puts them in a 2nd and 16. Remember, Dean does not have a timeout left here in the 4th period. They pass, Moorhead gets it back to the original line of scrimmage, and now 3rd and long. So another big play here. They've converted 40% of their 3rd downs this year. I would imagine that's got to be somewhere in the middle, 40% 3rd down conversion. Not great, but probably somewhere in the middle.
That's pretty average, right? You know, these Valley of the Sun Bowls, they seem to go like this every year. I mean, one team gets ahead, the other team comes back, but that's the nature of 2 really quality teams that aren't going to quit. They're going to keep fighting to the very end.
All right, let's see if Glendale has a big play here. It's 3rd and 11. They're showing blitz. Here they come. Closing the pocket down, and a lofty floater passes up there and incomplete. Boy, that pass had danger written all over it, and it was broken up by DeAndre Young. He makes yet another big play.
Well, that was a weird-looking play. A lot of pressure from Glendale. Small moved around in the pocket, got hit just as he threw it, forced that duck up in the air, and it was either guy's ball. It could have gone either way. And the receiver, Robbie Jackson, has about 3 inches on DeAndre Moore Young, but Moore Young did a nice job timing it and knocked that ball away. Now, I'm sure Dean would like to use a timeout right now. They look a little confused, but they don't have any left.
The game,
here we go.
The game may very well be on the line. And I think Dean.
Delay a game.
They just.
On the offense, 5-yard penalty.
Okay.
Still 4th down.
Well, I think everybody up here in the booth, self included, thought that they called another timeout.
Coach Bell thinks they called timeout. Coach Bell, you better get you guys back on the field.
So 4th down coming up. Play clock starts to dwindle down. It's at 20. Plenty of time to break the huddle. And a Valley of the Sun Bowl on the line here with 3 minutes and 6 seconds to go. 4th quarter action. Gauchos 25, visiting Dean College with the ball 20. Out of shotgun, here's Small with time. Steps up in the pocket. He fires a wobbly pass. It's complete, and he's out of bounds. Near side, Malcolm Bagley, the 3rd receiver in the Dean offense. And he makes the catch for a big, big first down to extend the game for Dean College.
Well, the offensive line for Dean College did an awesome job protecting the quarterback. Glendale played coverage on that. They only rushed 4, but great protection. Small had all day to look for an open receiver, and nobody was around Malcolm Bagley. He was able to catch the ball, step out of bounds, and get a big first down.
They send 3 receivers right. And Small throwing again. He's got a man in the corner, and the ball is caught, and he's out of bounds. No, he is into the end zone. Can you believe that pass from Jamal Small? And he hits his big target, Rodney Whitehead. That was the best pass we have seen all day long. And just like that, Dean College on a 24-yard touchdown pass leads it by 1.
Well, Glendale came with a zone blitz. Treg Waters was the man responsible to reroute Whitehead. He saw him run the wheel route up the sideline, and he ran with him. But as you said, Jamal Small made the perfect throw. He catches it. Whitehead catches it and lands in the end zone for the touchdown.
216 yards passing. Where was this guy in the first half?
I don't know.
It's almost like there was a metamorphosis, that went on with this guy.
Amazing.
He had 40 yards passing in the first half, and now they're going to go for 2. The smart call here. 2 points doesn't help you much, and now Small is going to the air again, and it's incomplete. So a good job by Brendan Murphy, who broke that one up.
And that's a huge play by the Glendale defense. With the score 1 point difference, now a field goal for Glendale will win the game. So we got, 2 minutes, 34 seconds to go. Glendale's got all their timeouts left. Their offense has really bogged down this second half, but if they can get a spark here, get a good field position after the kickoff return, they still get a chance to pull this Valley of the Sun Bowl out.
2 minutes, 34 seconds left to play here in regulation. Visiting Dean College out of Franklin, Massachusetts. I think about an hour out of Boston, if memory serves me correct. Trailed the entire game. That's the first lead that they have had, and that came by way of a 20-0 run. So with 2:34 left to go here, 4th quarter action. Moriarty Glendale, as coach said, 3 timeouts left and 2:34 left to go. Plenty of time, and you got a passing quarterback. And a short kick. It's going to be fielded back at the 20, and then they fumble the ball, and that's a situation where you got to let that return man have an opportunity there. That was Young, and it was Doug Rochelle, who actually saved the day on the last kickoff to Glendale. But this time, it backfires on them, and they will have it at the 17. So they got to go a good portion of the entire length.
And Coach Mickey Bell is very upset with his up back on that one because Rochelle had no business trying to catch that ball. That's the return man's ball, and terrible field position, so Glendale's got a lot of pressure on him to move the ball, but there's plenty of time with 3 timeouts to get that ball to the scoring territory.
So Hughes is a single setback spread offense here. Back to pass. The quarterback's in trouble. He eludes one tackler but cannot get away from Charles Watson. And I would have to say Charles Watson is the defensive player of the game here for the Dean College Bears. He's in double figures in tackles, and he just continues to make big plays.
Yeah, he's a playmaker. He's quick, aggressive, and he's just all over the field.
Scottsdale going with a hurry-up offense, no huddle. Haggard goes in motion. Haven't seen too many throws to him. And just as I say that, they complete the pass to him, but he is unable to get out of the grasp of Lamonte Gaddis, and that was a great play by Gaddis, as he only picks up about 3 or 4 on that play. Maybe a few more than that, and now third down.
Offsides on the defense, number 6.
Hold the phone.
5 yards from the previous spot. Replay second down.
I didn't see the flag come in, and now that changes the dynamics just a bit.
Absolutely, that's a big penalty.
Please reset the game clock to 1:57, please, 1:57.
Doesn't seem like a lot, but 5 yards and you get the down over and you get more time on the clock. So, yeah, that's a big break for the Gauchos.
Good point. So now 1:57 left to go. Remember, there's no 2-minute warning in college or high school football. Stone, 19 of 38, 285 yards, 2 touchdowns. And he's got to stay away from the interceptions or this one's all over. So second down and 5. Stone works out a shotgun, and they jumped off sides. They're all pointing at Junior Nieves, the freshman, at right tackle. And this is going to be close to a first down here. If this goes against Dean College.
Spencer Stone's done a great job with the hard count all afternoon, and they got it. Well, they're still talking about it. So let's see what we get from Joel Seawald.
Offsides on the defense, number 6, 5-yard penalty, still second down.
The other thing to keep in mind is Rushoff, a 3 for 3. He's hit from as far out as 37. So that means Glendale, to feel comfortable, needs to get the ball down somewhere around the 20, 25-yard line to get a shot at a field goal. 2nd and 1, a free play here for Glendale, and the pass is complete to Wilson, his 5th of the day, and then he gets annihilated by Darren Campbell. And he bounces right back up, and he picks up about 7 yards and a first down. Actually picks up more than that. He's out of bounds at the 35.
Well, the two things. Number 1, he gets the first down. Number 2, he gets out of bounds. So they get a new set of downs. Clock stopped, and they save using another timeout. But the clock's down to 1:32 in the 4th quarter.
26-25, Dean College leading it for the first time in this entire bowl game. And Stone has a man open on the far side. The late flag's coming in. Campbell, I don't think, meant to do it. Antoine Jackson was the intended target.
Well, Jeff, amazingly, Campbell fell down. And he was lucky to trip Antoine Jackson,
on the
or
defense,
that's a touchdown
number 2,
for the
15
Gauchos.
yards from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
So they're going to get a 15-yard penalty out of this. The ball's going to be right about the midfield stripe, it looks like. There it is. And still plenty of time. Minute 28. Glendale with another first down.
Glendale chipping away at it. Trailing by 1. First down and 10. Spencer Stone trying to lead Glendale to their 3rd consecutive bowl win. And here's a pass over the middle, and it's complete inside the red zone. The catch was made by Willie Rusidio.
That was an amazing throw by Spencer Stone. Amazing throw. He had very little room to put that ball into, and he put it right on the money, right in stride to his receiver. And they've got the ball at the 19-yard line now with a minute 22. Clock starting to run.
Stone under center. 1:15 on the clock, trailing by 1 after the 32-yard pass play, working from the 19. He'll throw, and it's incomplete. He had 2 receivers on the far side and lofted up there. You know, I was almost wanting to play a little coach there and say, you know, you've got time. You could run the ball here with Hines.
Exactly right. You took the words right out of my thought, out of my brain, because that's what I would do at this point. I'd be running the ball. Let's put it down in there. Let's see if we can get it closer, or maybe break it, run the clock down to no time so they have no time left if and when you kick your field goal.
You can't take any chances now. You're in field goal position. Field goal range, and here's Hughes. You don't want to lose yardage, and he breaks a tackle in the backfield, but then gets out of bounds, which now sets up a 3rd and about 7. Hughes gains 3 on the play. You're in a 3rd and 7, and Hughes is kind of beating himself up for getting out of bounds.
Well, he should be beating himself up. He didn't make the right cut on that play. He had a kick-out block by his offensive lineman. The second man through was Haggard going up the inside, and he bounced it outside. He keeps that ball inside. He's got a nice gain.
Right now, Glendale needs a timeout. They're going to call one.
Timeout.
1:04 left
Glendale,
to go
that's
here.
their first timeout of the
Regulation.
second half.
Glendale trailing 26-25 in the 2011 Valley of the Sun Bowl.
And Jeff, this is why I'm glad I'm up here and not down there. Actually, it's a lot of fun when you get into these games and you got to make those tough calls, but it sure takes a little out of your life when you when you have to make these calls.
Yeah, I can't imagine. So 1:04 left to play. We're in a timeout. And looking at some of the statistics, Stone 19 of 38 for 285 yards. Actually, he's up to 324 yards and 21 of 40. 2 touchdowns.
Well, he's been key on this series. He's made a couple of really nice plays and got the Gauchos in position where, you know, they've got the excellent kicker. He's done a great job all day. It's probably going to come down to a kick unless they can get a first down on this play.
Demetrius Wilson, 5 catches here today for about 60 yards. Hines about 75 yards on the ground.
You know, Jeff, the thing they can't do right now is take a sack. You just can't take a sack. You've got to at least throw an incomplete pass or get something positive out of this.
All right, 3rd down. It's 3rd and 7 from the 18-yard line, and they're going for the end zone, and the catch is going to be, or the pass is broken up, incomplete. Well, what a second half defensively for Darren Campbell. So now Rushoff, who has made 3 field goals, he's 3 for 3. His longest is from 37 yards out.
And I don't think they're going to ice him because they don't have any timeouts
They have
left.
no timeouts left. And look at that Dean College bench. This quite possibly is the game, but there's still a minute left to go. So Dean College is going to have some time left, but again, no timeouts. From 34 yards out, the snap is down. Haggard, good job with a wobbly kick. He did not get it. He missed it, and the Dean College Bulldogs prevail, and the lead is 26-25. Boy, you wish you had that 3rd timeout now.
Well, there's 54 seconds left. Glendale's got 2 timeouts. That's not going to be enough. All they have to do is kneel on it 3 times, and the clock will run out. And it's just a shame that, you know, games come down to that kicker, and so many college and especially professional games come down to that kick. And it's too bad. Rushoff's had a heck of a game and a heck of a season, but unable to convert. They had nice protection, good snap and hold, good protection. You know, he just missed it.
54 seconds on the clock. Stay with us for our post-game show coming up here on MCTV Sports. Don't forget to check us out on the web at maricopa.edu/MCTV.
And Dean College is not going to run a play, and they're going to get a delay of the game right now.
Just a second. Delay a game on the offense. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
I don't know what the confusion is. All you got to do is put 11 guys on the field and kneel down on the ball 3 times, and the game's over.
Well, we'd like to thank our entire crew for doing an outstanding job here today. Looks like Dean College is going to capture a victory in just their third bowl game. But this football program, Coach, has only been around about 7 or 8 years, about 8 years, I think, total.
Well, 8 years under Coach Vasey.
Yeah, Vasey, yep.
And he is the winningest coach in the history of their football program. I think he's got 55,
Glendale, that's their second timeout.
In 8 years. So he's done an outstanding job. They've won their conference for the last 5 years. So it's no fluke. I mean, this is a quality football team.
And Dean College might break the top 10 with a victory here today. So the second timeout used by the Gauchos, who trail it 26-25. We're in the fourth quarter. It has been maybe not the best played game, but it has been a lot. There's been a lot of drama. So let's send it down to the sideline, and Mike Caratanudo.
Jeff, you're talking about drama. Coach Bell is absolutely livid at the officials because his defensive line stopped rushing, as you saw when the quarterback dropped back to go take a knee, and he never took a knee, and the defensive line just stopped, and all the defensive line turned to the sideline to Coach Bell and said they kept telling us to stop. So that wasted an extra few seconds. Good for Dean, obviously bad for Glendale.
All right, 49 seconds left to go. It is second down and 19. They had the delay of game penalty, and then they lose a couple of yards on that first snap. And Dean's going to run a play here to Spencer Jackson out of Campbell Hall, New York. And Glendale has just used their final
Glendale's
timeout.
Third and final timeout.
So in college football, you have what's called a 40-second clock. And so all they need to do is get that clock under 40 seconds at the end of this play, and before they set the ball, and they won't have to run another play.
Small has thrown for 216 yards and 3 touchdowns, 17 out of 32, but most of that damage was done in the second half.
Oh, it's for the fourth quarter. I mean, I'd like to see his stats just for the fourth quarter. The guy was phenomenal. I mean, like you said, the metamorphosis. Who was this guy? I mean, he didn't play like that the first half, especially in the passing game. But he is a competitor, a good athlete, and he really made things happen in that fourth quarter for him.
Well, the pass that he made to Whitehead there in the fourth quarter to give Dean College their first lead of the contest, I mean, Peyton Manning would have been proud of that one. I mean, it was right on target, but we didn't see that kind of confidence. We didn't see that kind of zip on the ball through the first 2.5 quarters.
Exactly, and you know, it's being a competitor. It's being a guy that has confidence in himself and in his team, and he really did a great job that fourth quarter.
All right, they need to run it down under 40 seconds. He's looking at the clock. He slides, and you got 35 seconds. The clock continues to wind down, and the play clock is about 4 seconds ahead of the game clock. So this one is in the books, and the 2011 Valley of the Sun Bowl champions are the Dean College Bulldogs. They were here 2 seasons ago. They lost 10-9 to this very same Glendale Gauchos team, but here today a different story, and they do it in come-from-behind fashion. 26-25 is the final score from Glendale.
Well, Jeff, it was one heck of a football game, and it kind of reminds you of a few years back when we did the Phoenix College Harper game, and Harper came from way behind. I mean, that was an incredible comeback victory.